Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie Man, and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Oshi no Ko episode 7. So, what did I think about this week's episode? I personally love this week's episode. I think this week's episode was fantastic, and I really appreciated that it contrasts last week's episode when it came to, the themes and what the episode was representing, because last week's episode was all about, the dark side of social media and, the toxicity of it, because we got to see Akane, everything that she went through because of social media. Now, in this week's episode, we see the opposite of that, which is, the goodness that can come out of social media. Because thanks to social media, it really helped, Akane's career as well as, her entire well-being as a whole. Now, before I get any farther, I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Oshi no Ko, as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into this week's episode. So this week's episode picks up where we left off last time, which is pretty much Aqua, where he saves Akane. So we pick up from that, and we see that, she's like, why would you save me? Let me go. And Aqua's like, no, you dummy, like, I won't. And then she's like, how did you ever find out where I was? And, Aqua tells her that it's because Mingim-chan, she told Aqua, like, hey, I'm worried about her. And, the rest of the crew was also worried. So they all, as we started looking for you, because there's a typhoon outside and, it's raining, it's very bad. So I'm glad that I found you because I prevented you from doing this. And she, it was very emotional. I mean last week's episode was very heavy, like for a lot of people, including myself. I thought it was very heavy, but it was very realistic. That's how people, when they hit their lowest, they don't have anything else to live for, they think about doing something like that. And it's a shame, and it's very sad. Now, we do get a little bit of insight about how much hate mail and just toxic comments and stuff like that you get through the industry, because Kana, she she's an actress, and why not, and she's been through it. She's talking to Ruby, and just letting her know, like, this business is hard. Like, you will get haters, and you will get people that they're just very mean things, like, kill yourself, and they just won't even give it a second glance. They don't think what comes out of their mouth, they just say it, and they don't know at all how hurtful it can be towards others. And that was the main point that she brought up. And Ruby starts really questioning, because, like, she's gonna be an idol, so she's gonna get the spotlight, and all these people that might hate her. While all of that is happening, we also get the the manager, like, gets a phone call, and surprise to no one, it's it's from the police, and they say Aqua's here, and Kana and Ruby and the manager, they're like, oh my god, they're so worried. And we see that pretty much they're there because the whole incident where Akane, she tries to jump off that bridge. So she's being interrogated by the cop, and the mom's there, and that scene was very heartbreaking, because you just see the mom's face, and she's just devastated. She's like, why didn't you tell me anything? And this moment, the line that Akane delivered, that shook me to my core and got me pretty emotional when she said it, when she's like, I just didn't want to be a bother to you. Because at the end of the day, people that that experience the same thing that Akane has, they wish they could talk to somebody, but their inner thoughts, they don't let them, they don't want to be a bother to anybody. And it's very sad. And anybody that's watching this, I just wanted to let it out there. If you're suffering from something similar to that, talk to someone, and be with your friends, family, just let people know how you're feeling, because the worst thing you can do is just hold it in and keep it to yourself. Anybody watching this, you guys have loved ones, so if you guys are suffering from something like this, just talk to them, and hopefully you can overcome this, because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and you got to keep pushing forward. I continue with the episode. What ends up happening is the rest of the cast show up, and they're like, oh my god, they're so worried. And the first thing that happens is you see Yuki slap Akane, because she's just shocked at what transpired. She didn't expect something like this to go down, and she gets very emotional and just like, why didn't you just tell me anything? And she's like, I'm sorry. And then the rest of the crew is there, and eventually they all tell her, like, we're here for you, dude. Like, and that was very wholesome and very sweet, because anybody, like, if anybody that would experience that, I would like to think that a close circle of friends would be there to support that fellow human being, and I really appreciated how, you know, in an industry that's filled with drama and, you know, politics and all that, when it comes to the, you know, the world of entertainment, there's, you know, compassionate beings that are there for their fellow comrades. And I thought that was very well done, and, you know, props to them, because they were there to step up and help Akane at, you know, at her lowest. And what we end up seeing is that Aqua, he's pissed because he knows that this is all thanks to this reality show. So Aqua is, you know, he's in a mission. He's like, I'm gonna ruin this, and I'm gonna talk to the producer or the director, and I'm gonna get that footage, because in that footage we get to see that, you know, Yuki and Akane, when they hugged, and the apology and all that, but that was never in the show. So they're trying to get, you know, the backlog of the footage. And what Aqua ends up saying is like, you know, I'm gonna start putting all these tablets out there and, you know, spreading, because I want to make a video, you know, showing just how kind of a person Akane is. And for that, she needs the help of Memcho. And Memcho is the YouTuber that's part of the show. And she just like, okay, I'll help you out, but let me upload it, because at the end of the day, I am the biggest influencer here with the biggest, you know, I can get the most eyes if I tweet it out. And, you know, Aqua's like, well, I can just do it myself. It's like, yeah, but do you know what time to upload it? Do you know around what day to upload it? You know where exactly to upload it on it? So she knows all the insights of, you know, social media, and that goes to show, because, you know, she is a very prominent, you know, influencer when it comes to the online space. So that's something that Aqua is not, you know, the greatest at, because, you know, that he's not as popular as her. So he lets her, you know, decide the upload time and all that. Now, after Aqua and Memcho, you know, they come to this agreement. You know, Aqua goes and confronts the director. Is like, hey, take that, like, you gotta give me that footage. And then, you know, the director's like, well, why? He's like, and Aqua's like, dude, you should be ashamed, like all the stuff that Akane went through, and you don't even care. And the director pretty much just says like, listen, I make entertainment. Like, I don't force anybody to do anything they don't want to. I don't put anybody in a scenario they don't want to. It's reality show. I'm just there, and I shape it to be entertaining for the audience. And, you know, Aqua's just disgusted. Aqua's like, dude. And I love the scene where Aqua's like, listen, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 35. It's like, you know, Akane's 17, right? It's like, no matter how much entertainment you want to get out of this, you got to realize that it's a kid. And as a grown adult, you should not be exploiting kids, or, you know, be terrible, you know, harm kids like, you know, her age. And eventually, you know, it breaks through the director, and the director's like, you know what, fine. And he lets him have the footage. And then eventually, you know, Aqua edits that footage. And after a long time of editing, you know, he finally uploads it. And, you know, it's a huge success. Everybody sees it, and it goes viral. And thanks to Aqua, she was able to, you know, get her life back together, you know, like, because now, you know, everybody knows the truth, because in this video you get to see, you know, her smiling with the rest of the crew, you know, just her apologizing to Yuki. And thankfully, you know, she gets a vast majority of support overall, as well as we get to see that, you know, she wants to thank Aqua for everything that he did. And, you know, she's like, I want to also get a persona, because, you know, in this industry you got to get some kind of character to really stand out. And, you know, what she ends up saying is like, well, I'll be somebody that, you know, Aqua likes. And what we get to see is that Aqua starts thinking about, you know, eventually Akane, she starts telling herself like, okay, I'm gonna be that girl. I'm gonna be the girl that Aqua wants to, you know, like the girl that is his type. And what she does is nonstop grind. She goes and literally takes method acting to another level. Like, she just literally has a bunch of pictures of Ai in her wall and starts analyzing every single detail about Ai, to eventually, you know, the next time that Aqua sees Akane, you see that Akane just completely starts acting like Ai and throws off Aqua. Like, Aqua looks like he's love struck at first sight, because you get to see even in her eyes. And I think this is a metaphor that, you know, she's becoming a star, just like I was, because you get to see that she also has that sparkle in her eyes, just like I did. And, you know, that's how the episode ends. Overall, I thought this week's episode was fantastic, and I can't wait to see where the story goes from here, because, you know, it's been a blast. With that being said, what did you guys think about this week's episode? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thanks so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Oshi no Ko, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.